although the architecture is new, there is a strong sense, a duty of care, if you like, to the continuity of the place, of the organisation, to the audience, and equally an aspiration to reinvent the Everyman in a way that new audience will be just as inspired by it.
The thing that's woven through all of that is an ethos of that word everyman and what that old everyman was, and that's not actually something you can transport to Stanley Dock or the King's Dock, or indeed you can't just put that neon on the sign of any old building without it being a kind of cruel joke.
The former building was just a blank rendered facade with the red sign on it, which, again, it being Liverpool, we kind of took route A and said, let's just get everybody to have their photos taken, and we'll just invite people to have their portraits taken. Because the building is aspiring to be as green as it can be, the facade is actually doing quite a lot of work. It's a west-facing facade, which, as you know, is the most problematic in terms of sun exposure. So there are actually a series of individually controllable sunshades, as well as the announcing device of the building. We had the chance to recycle the old building, and we had the space to do it, so we took the opportunity. We recycled or reused over 90% of the old Everyman Theatre, and part of that was we used about 25,000 of the original bricks of the chapel to make the shell of the new auditorium as a sort of box within a box of the new building, which we felt, there's always a kind of, a stomach knot about nostalgia and sentimentality when you do things like that, but actually here it felt so right, it felt so obvious. We tried to make the building work as hard as it possibly could. And the building we did build was around about, I think the base build cost was about 2,300 a metre, and then about 500 for services, which both as an overall figure is about, I think, 20% below the norm for this sort of scale of theatre. So there's a kind of Roman section, really, of air voids within the building. They've actually outperformed our calculations, which we've had a summer, we got up to 29 degrees in a windowless room of 400 people with all the lights on, and we haven't had to use any mechanical cooling. Obviously, a lot of people were saying, well, this is a big risk to be taking with a public building. It's lottery funded. Are you sure this is going to work? And of course we said yes, of course we're sure it's going to work.
And it is the Everyman, and when we did a lot of consultation, people were very clear that people would say things like, I don't want to have to dress up to come to the Everyman, but if I want to dress up, I want to feel that that's all right. And that's very Liverpool.